Yes, Charleston White is correct. I'm a rapper, not a dealer. Be sure to catch my new show, 50 Cent, 50 Ways to Catch a Killer.
I see that Meech Home concert got the streets talking. The biggest Meech Home, the streets back, that's what I'm talking about. That's how real niggas come home and get it down. 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
50 Cent just humiliated Big Meech in front of the whole world after fresh reports claimed Rick Ross finessed him out of a massive $120 million deal. Ross was out here promising blockbuster movies and big money projects, but delivered zero, leaving Meech stuck looking broke while 50 turned his name into a punchline. Fans are now saying the only way this saga ends is if Meech tries to square up with 50 in a boxing ring. And honestly, with how wild it's gotten, that doesn't even sound far-fetched. Let's rewind. After Big Meech left the streets, the hype was crazy. Everyone thought a huge comeback was about to unfold. Then enters Rick Ross, talking loud about a $120 million film, promising Meech the world, hyping it like the big payday was finally here. Ross even went on record making those promises loud and clear. On paper, it looked like Meech was finally about to cash in on his legendary name. But the truth? Ross never came through with anything.
So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino. It's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it.
Instead, he used Meech's name like a prop, just to flex in his long-running rivalry with 50 Cent. While Ross was dangling fake movie dreams, 50 was the one cutting checks for the BMF show, paying for Lil Meech's acting lessons and giving him a real platform. Ross? Just smoke and mirrors. And don't take just 50's word for it. People in his camp vouched for him. Tony Yayo even broke it all down, making it crystal clear who was actually putting in the work. Now the word on the street is Meech is frustrated, broke, and finally realizing Ross only linked up with him as a chess move against 50. That's humiliating. Instead of bossing up, he's looking like somebody else's pawn in a petty rap beef. But it didn't stop there. Things really got messy once Lil Meech was spotted hanging out with Rick Ross at the club. Days after leaked text came out where Lil Meech was supposedly saying, F Ross. There he was in the VIP, shoulder to shoulder with Ross, whispering, posing for pics, flashing smiles under red lights like nothing ever happened. The internet went crazy. Make it make sense. Of course, 50 didn't let that slide. He hopped online with one of his signature troll moves, cracking a joke that Ross told Lil Meech to give him his dad's address so he could send some Wingstop wings over. Just picture it. Your family drama turned into a fast food punchline by 50 Cent himself, Savage. But here's the kicker. The wings joke wasn't just shade, it was a warning shot. 50 was making it clear. Ross isn't building anything for Meech, he's just throwing scraps his way. And then came the bombshell. Out of nowhere, 50 dropped and later deleted a post claiming he had to personally send Lil Meech to rehab. He said Meech was showing up to set high, even throwing up during a weapons test because he was too lit. Then they found whippets in his truck. 50 even admitted he didn't know what whippets were and had to Google it, painting himself like the only adult in the room trying to keep the young actor on track while his own father was out here hyping up the same bad habits. And let's not forget, Lil Meech even got himself arrested at an airport. That alone tells you the whole situation is spiraling out of control. That clip lit the internet on fire. And who jumped in to fan the flames? None other than 50 Cent. He reposted it with a laugh, echoing Michael's exact words in his caption, making it crystal clear he's writing for his power star while doubling down on the whole Meech is weak narrative. The timing couldn't have been worse, because in that moment, it looked like Meech was losing respect from everyone in 50's circle. But here's the thing, this tension didn't start overnight. It had been brewing since the flop of Big Meech's so-called Welcome Back concert. When he came home, fans expected fireworks, a star-studded event stacked with rap heavyweights, but instead of keeping 50, the man who literally turned his life into a TV empire, At the center, Meech leaned on Rick Ross to push the event. There's even a clip of
February 13th, the Big Meech benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself. This shit gonna be special.
Epic.
Get your tickets right now.
I'm back.
Ross hyping it up, promising fans the show was about to be legendary. But the reality, the concert never even happened. Total disaster. And for 50, that was the breaking point. He accused Meech of cutting deals with the feds and went on a full-blown online assault. Suddenly, fans who once worshipped Meech as a street legend started questioning everything they thought they knew. And pairing with Ross only made it worse. To the public, it looked like Meech swapped loyalty for clout, and 50 was relentless, turning that idea into fact with post after post. What should have been a legendary comeback instead became the moment the street stopped riding with him. That's when Meech snapped back. He posted an old photo of himself and 50, but slapped a giant rat emoji right over 50's face. No subtlety there, he was flat out calling him a snitch. He doubled down, labeling 50 an internet gangster, basically saying all 50 does is sit behind a phone and troll. Ross, of course, jumped in to pile on. He mocked 50 for being salty about their link-up, and fans saw it as a full-blown tag team. Ross co-signing Meech just to poke the bear harder. There's even a moment where Ross straight up mocks 50 for being mad that Meech was standing next to him. But here's the twist. Fans couldn't ignore the irony. 50 gave Lil Meech real opportunities. Acting gigs, training, a whole TV platform. Meanwhile, Ross only served up flashy photo ops. Yet Meech seemed way more eager to ride with Ross than with the man who actually invested in him. That contradiction had the internet buzzing, and it sparked the next big rumor, that Meech wanted to fight 50 for real. After the rat post and Ross's trolling, the whispers of a boxing match started spreading like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone online was hyped at the thought of Big Meech versus 50 Cent in the ring. Street beef turned into potential pay-per-view drama. But just as the fight talk started catching fire, Whack 100 stepped in and threw gasoline on the whole thing with a theory that shook the room. According to Whack, this beef isn't just about loyalty or Rick Ross, it's about secrets. He claimed that Meech's own close confidant, Tammy Cowan, once told 50 that Meech had conspired with federal authorities in other street cases. In other words, Whack was hinting that Meech might not have been as loyal to the streets as everyone believed. And that right there, that's where 50's snitch narrative really came from. But Whack wasn't finished. He added that Tammy may have had her own motives for turning on Meech. Maybe she felt abandoned when he got locked up, or maybe she was tired of him trying to snatch back his life rights, which were already negotiated with 50 for the BMF series. If even part of that is true, it puts Meech in a corner, because it means the very person closest to him might have been slipping 50 all the ammo this whole time. Whack summed it up bluntly. Think about who's feeding him the bullets. Whether Whack was dropping facts or just stirring the pot, one thing was clear. It handed 50 even more fuel to keep the fire blazing. And fans, they went right back to clowning Meech non-stop. One of the loudest moments came when Big Meech popped out wearing Kanye West's graduation jacket. At first glance, just a flashy flex fit, but fans instantly clocked the symbolism. That's the same album that outsold 50 back in their infamous 2007 sales showdown. Some laughed it off, others swore Meech did it intentionally, almost like he was mocking 50 by wearing a reminder of his biggest L. But the real twist wasn't the jacket, it was 50's silence. Normally 50 would roast a goofy outfit or screenshot the moment in seconds, but this time, nothing, dead quiet. And that silence had people convinced he was holding back on purpose, saving something bigger, like he was loading up a nuke instead of wasting bullets on a meme. At this point, one thing's obvious, this isn't just casual trolling. 50 is locked in on Meech like it's personal. Most beefs fade with time, but not this one. With Meech, every move brings a clapback, every rumor turns into content, every slip becomes a headline. Some say 50 feels betrayed. He put Lil Meech on, gave him opportunities, only to watch him cozy up to Rick Ross. Others say it's about pure power. 50 doesn't just want to win, he wants to crush anyone who dares cross him. Letting Meech slide would make him look soft, and that's one thing 50 will never allow. And if this thing ever leaves Instagram and actually lands in the boxing ring, it won't just be entertainment. It'll be the final chapter in a feud that's already gone too far. One man fighting to protect his legacy, the other looking to tear it down for laughs. And the way this is spiraling, it doesn't feel like just a rumor anymore. It feels like the next move is already locked in. So don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because this saga, it's only getting crazier from here.